Let's go back in to Maya, and next to my phone booth, which I can just, for the meantime, just combine and move over to the side a little bit. I'm going to make a couch. And again, how are we going to start this couch? Guess. Cube. We're going to start with the cube. Make our lives easier. Let's not screw around. Insert. Okay, so the very first thing you got to do is, again, always approach any model from a Lego standpoint. Okay, so just model it out very, very blocky first, just like you would in BSP. Okay, so I'm just going to do the first part right now. And I'm using insert edge loop tool. I'm going to use multiple edge loops. Let's go ahead and do 2. Okay, great. Now, with those 2 edge loops selected, I'm going to extrude them out to the edges. And I'm going to do one more insert edge loop. I need to reset my numbers. Reset tool. Hit that. Pop in here. Okay. Now, because I already know myself and I know how this model is going to work, I'm actually going to preemptively merge these verts to the corner already. Okay. And if you haven't done so already, and I actually believe I forgot to do it on the last model, so forgive me on that, let's go ahead and delete the bottom faces, because we're never going to see them. Any faces that will never be seen, delete. Now, assuming you're going to turn this couch over and flip it upside down, then go ahead and keep that, but I don't ever plan on, turning this around. Okay. So let's go ahead and build the back of this piece first. Extrude, face up. Oh look, I'm already almost done. Check that out. Okay, now, there's several ways you can approach this now. We can do the cushions separately, or we can model them in. It's your call, however you want to do it. If we're going for the full detail, I guess I could say, just for the time being, I'll show you how to model it with the couch, with the cushions separately. So, first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to round these corners out. There you go. Alright, so I'm going to come in here. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to take it back. The easiest way to round this out would just be to extrude a little. And then come in and, whoops, let's not do that. Let's push these guys in. Oh, let's push these out. Okay. And let's push this guy a little forward. Okay. So it's getting a little bit more of a rounded shape to it, so it's not so rigid. Okay. So we got to make this thing look comfy. That's the first goal of the couch, right? And let's go ahead and extrude it just a little bit. And let's go into here. Let's go ahead and round that out a little bit more. And taking that edge in. Let's go ahead and, there you go. So already that's looking a little pretty good. Okay. Now, one thing I could say we could do is, let's go ahead and push this forward a little so there's a little bit more of an angled back to this. Okay. Alrighty, fantastic. And let's go ahead and push these verts out a little bit more, just to make it match up a little, so it looks a little bit more comfy. There you go, looking great. Now, modeling the cushions, how are we going to start with that? Anyone guess? Close. Cube. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I say. Let's go ahead and hop into insert, V-click, insert again, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to model the shit out of these cushions. Now, good news is that if I just model one, I've modeled them all. Again, not need to make my life harder, just need to work smarter. Alright, and so okay, these cushions tend to stick up a little bit over. That's fine. So we're going to model this cushion out a little bit. And let's stop about the halfway point right there. Let's push this edge back. Okay. Alright, great. Now, let's go ahead and add a few little bits of detail to this. Number one, Let's go ahead and extrude this guy out a little, but we're going to shrink him down so he looks a little more comfy. Okay? Except too, we need these cushions to be a little more rounded. So let's go ahead and, actually just for the time being, I'm just going to move these up a little, and that shit on the edges needs to go. So I'm going to click one edge, and I'm going to go to Control, right click to edge ring, and then I've now selected all the edges along it as well. Shift, right click, bevel edge. Let's try that. Nope, that was too small a bevel. Let's go with a bigger bevel. Too big a bevel. So we can go a little smaller. Perfect, I can live with that. Okay, looks like we made a little bit of an error though. So let's go ahead and fix that with the split poly so we don't get an n-gon. Actually, you know what, let's go ahead and backtrack a little because it looks like the model's starting to get a little crazy. So here's what I'm going to do. First things first, I'm going to delete the back face of this. And I'm actually going to add my edge loops from the center. So forgive me for that. Okay. So I'm going to expand them. Okay. Let's make it grow just a little bit. Okay, cool. So we're putting that together. Let's see how it's starting to look decent, right? Okay, it's looking good. Now, one thing you could do to make your life a little easier is why don't we go ahead and make another edge loop. I'm sorry, let's go ahead and backtrack on that one. Let's go to insert edge loop tool again. Now watch this. All I'm going to do is just push this face in a little. I'm going to expand it out. Now why am I doing that? Well, let's go to wireframe unshaded. I'm giving a little bit of a press in so that it looks like, oh, someone sat in it. Okay, it's just a little detail that I'm pushing in just to add a little bit of shape. So now this thing looks like it's not so rigid. Okay? I think it's that edge ring. Let's go to normal, soften edge. And that way we'll get less hard shapes. Okay? And now that I got that one cute couch done, I can just duplicate it over. And let's go ahead and take both of them together and scale them down. Alrighty. Fantastic. Now let's get the bottom seats down. But oh, check it out. Let's make our lives easier. Why don't we just do this? Why don't we just rotate it? Negative 180. And let's rotate this about yay high. Okay, so let's bring these couches up a little higher. Let's bring this couch in, duplicate, and so by using the same cushions, I've now created my couch. Okay? And if anything, let's add a little bit more plush to this bottom piece. Let's yank it out and do that. And so now you have yourself a low poly couch that'll work for your scene. Okay, so I'm just going to go in here. Just going to select all the edges that are looking a little too rough for my liking. Normal's hard soften edge. Normal's soften edge. Soften edge again. Soften edge again. And now we got ourselves a pretty comfy looking couch. Now we'll have to UV it later, but at this point, you know, I think a good base mesh is going to be decent for everybody. So so that help? That looking okay for you guys? All right, cool.